Thank you for choosing Delisa's Life. In recent news, Kanye West stated that racism should not play such a high part in African American lives, that they should not talk about it, promote it as frequently as we do. And I must agree. I don't believe every incident that occurs out on the street have a racist bias to them. Does everybody who gets pulled over who's African American got pulled over because they're black? Absolutely not. Black people speed, I speed. But a lot of times, once the conversation begins, there's a difference in how we as a people is treated compared to others. Now, this is not about racism. This is simply about Kanye West. Kanye jumped on the scene mid-90s for a song called Jesus Walks. That really put him on the map. The second biggest part of Kanye West, let's call it upbringing, is when he stood on stage in front of millions upon millions of people and said, George Bush does not like African Americans. And I would go as far as saying, based on what I've seen and heard, some of the recent political statements are a lot more severe than what George Bush ever said. So, for a guy who made college dropout, graduation, late registration, if you go through these albums and listen, a lot of the songs have to do with the white man suppressing Kanye West or a group of African Americans. Kanye West moved up the ladder talking about this stuff. Sometimes politically correct, sometimes very politically not correct. So Kanye, we find it a little difficult for you of all people to come out and say, stop blaming everything on racism. And for that small portion, he's correct. But Mr. Kanye, if you take your Maybach and drive it through the hood, you'll be probably stopped 5 times. And then you'll say, oh, they didn't see your blue eyes through the windows. Kanye West, who made a statement that as soon as you become successful, he's going to drop you and leave you for a white girl, is now living the life. And I love the Kardashians, by the way. I think the Kardashians are a lot more closer to the African American community than the new Kanye. The new Kanye, we don't know. We lost him maybe 6 years ago. But it's okay. Still love his music. So you're free to say whatever you want to say. But for Kanye West, of all people, shame on you. Shame on you. Kanye, you did nothing wrong. But I do find you guilty of propaganda. Inappropriate. Bad, bad. Come back to us, Kanye. We miss you. But don't drive to Chicago in that Maybach. This is Delisa's Life. Have a good day.